Okay, it's about like 2 a.m. in the morning and I just could not sleep on the school night, so I thought to just record, I guess, a voice memo about where I am right now because really, I don't know, maybe it's a bit selfish of me to like speak on my own experience, you know, because I don't want to like imply that my problems are anything special compared to like everyone else, but it's just I've been going through a lot, I guess, on my own with some people, but it's really easy to feel like you get left behind sometimes. I mean, I kind of did all of this to myself. I mean, so yeah. Last year, well, last year, I might just start from scratch because, like, I guess if someone cares for the full detail or story, then there's that. But basically, I think I was doing pretty good last year on the start. I think I remember doing good. And then came around June or my birthday. I think for weeks leading up to then, my mom had been struggling a lot with mental illness, specifically like schizoaffective disorder. So, you know, I'd be worried for her, you know, of course, because she's my mom. And I only have one mom, of course, so naturally I was worried. And I guess pretty much the month of that, I thought I was losing my mom. And I don't really, well, I used to have two dad figures, I guess, one biological, one godfather that my mom had broke off with after 10 years. But that's about, yeah. So basically just have one mom, and you know, whenever I forget that I'm someone, I always remind myself that I'm not just a nobody, I'm someone's son. But yeah, that month, I guess, her mental health has been declining. She was doing so good up till then too. She was working a really good job at Duncan's, and I guess I think she just declined mentally and snapped. And uh, I'm trying to play the game right now while I'm talking. I have the game muted, but essentially, she's been acting less and less like herself, and mental illness has been, I guess, overwhelming. But yeah. So I guess around that month, my birthday, my mom had gone out, I think 2 different days. One of the days she went out and I went out looking for her, she came back home. But I think the other day, right after my birthday, she had went out to, I think, a different city, and I think because, you know, I don't really want to lose my mom, but yeah, so basically, she went out and tried, she slit, cut her wrist down to the bone, I believe, and I think me, no, I think that she had to come back on her way back home, and I was out looking for her at the time. We had crossed paths, but Someone had called the police on her because he was walking out with two bloody wrists and trying to catch a ride home from strangers because she wasn't really mentally in a good mental condition. And we were doing really good. I don't really feel like I've done enough for my mom. I haven't really been doing good in school. I don't know. But yeah. Uh, Basically, as the cops had come, and I had come across her, and I remember the cops, asking me questions about where she'd been, where I was, what she's been doing, and if it's my mom, and oh, yeah, they took her into the ambulance, and I asked if I could ride in the ambulance with her, but I guess I couldn't. So me and my auntie just trailed. Oh, we went. Well, I don't remember crying. I remember I was just looking down, like I was ashamed of myself for what happened because I didn't want this to happen to my mom, and she's been like spoiling me basically my whole life. But yeah, I think I remember me and my aunt were just trailing behind the ambulance to the hospital, and I think I stayed silent the whole time because I guess this had been going on for some time, and I was just I guess crying in silence, I guess, because I only really had my mom to look to at that time. Of course, my friend Will, he did help look. I think 2 days before that incident when she tried to end her life, she went out I think for 5 hours, and me and Will were out looking for her for 5 hours on bikes and all, riding around our usual paths, and I had eventually found her and just sat with her in the grass, talked to her, asked her if she wanted to go home, she wants iced tea, and just being in the presence of my mom really made me happy. But like, yeah, so that happened. It wasn't really traumatic to me much as it was to my mom, but hey, really think about what could have happened and how it could have gone differently and changed my life forever. Because I don't have really anyone else to look to besides my mom, so yeah, I guess that's one of the stories that happened that time. There's also that of the bike injury, I think, around April 1st of last year, a couple of months back before that incident. I think I wasn't doing good in school either, and I was missing a lot of like school days because I was getting sick often. And I think that day, April 1st, I was riding my bike to school. I usually presume that I don't need a helmet because it's only 1 minute bike ride, but that fucked me over in the end because I hit a pothole and then it's go first into the concrete, like I think outside, no, like directly in front of the school. And so my friend saw this nice woman saw, and she came rushing to me to help me. I had blood over my eye and forehead, there's a hole, like a gas in my underneath my eye, and I still had a scar from it. But I remember it didn't hurt me. I wasn't scared. I was mostly scared because of how my mom would react, because I was already missing school. So I think that me getting injured would, cause her to get upset or mad when she doesn't really. But I don't know. I guess it's just me. But yeah, that woman was so nice though. I think I remember when I was like being dropped off at my mom's house from her. I tried offering her like my iced tea as like a gift and asking if I can hug her and stuff because it was really nice. And well, uh, she, yeah, I guess she just didn't take it because I had blood in my eyes. So it's like, no, save it for yourself. Mom told me that she did try like revisiting or checking back in our house like a couple times while I was in the hospital getting stitches. Um, but yeah, just that. It wasn't really traumatic, but I thought it was funny that it happened on April Fools. Yeah. So there's that bike accident on April Fools. My mom's mental decline or attempt, and she wasn't in a good mental condition. And then I think on October, um, I I was doing pretty. I thought that I was going pretty good at the time, but uh, basically, I'd been in a relationship with this really nice girl, but I guess maybe it was my fault for what happened and how it went. But basically, the relationship just wasn't good for my mental at the time when I was juggling a lot of things, and I guess I wasn't really speaking up for myself as often because I often let her take the lead and just, you know, I basically live off of her selfishly. Um, yeah, but I think leading up until then, I had been just not good. And October 10th, I think, I went out on a bridge, fully conscious, aware of what I was doing. I brought a knife with me out on a bridge and I called the cops and told them that there's a guy with a knife and come to sue them. Eventually they came here and saw that I was the one that made the call, and um yeah, I had guns pointed at me, and I was just, you know, I was trying to make myself look like a threat. Of course, I don't like hurting nobody. I wasn't intending to hurt nobody but me. Nobody but me should have gotten hurt. But I guess that moment really, I think leading up to that, I was like COVID right before that. My mind is like in mental, like, jumble right now. Yeah, I had COVID right before that too, was taking my voice away, and I was just sad because I was missing school. I was not doing good. But yeah, a major L for catching COVID-19 in the year 2023, like 4 years after. Wait, 2022, that was it, yeah. Um, yeah, so, uh, they took my, you know, my friends, they saw that on my GPS I had stopped moving. I guess they had told them the rest of what happened, and they came, running from across the whole city on Life 360, and eventually they saw me being loaded into the ambulance. I saw them, I waved at them, but after that, I didn't look back because I didn't want to be seen like this. I didn't want anyone to see me. And yeah, um, they took me to the hospital. My mom was there with me. No, I, I don't really know how to feel about it because I guess that moment, um, I feel like I'm already dead from what happened there. But yeah, moving forward from that, I got put into a psych ward or a mental hospital with, other mentally unstables, and it wasn't a good experience too, the way that my state as psych ward got sexual, and this didn't really happen, but it was, I don't know, like, yeah, basically there were these three girls in the groups that we regularly did, you know, and attending these groups I went to just because it meant that you would get out sooner. But I think one day, maybe my like fifth or sixth day, I went to groups and I saw three of the girls were writing a piece of paper with my initial on it. Yeah, and I was, curious to what was going on. They wrote their initials with me, and I believe they were discussing like how one of them was like too young to date me. One of them was jealous that I was already in a relationship at the time. The other one was just like forgot but jealous too. And yeah, I don't understand how this happened too, because I don't see myself as like attractive in any way. Like I just wore the mask all the time in the hospital while everyone else kept theirs on, so they haven't even seen my face too. But yeah, one of the girls kind of stepped it. I was obviously just like I couldn't. I I don't know. Kind. Yeah, I guess it got sexual, and my mom knew, and I told her that I don't want the staff to know, because what if they keep me there longer and have to deal with this even more. But yes, he would wait outside my dorm room overnight. He would throw me around and wait for me, attached, I guess. And I don't know, I guess it isn't as major, but it kind of, I don't know, kind of changes the way I think, or how my brain kind of thinks about things like that. But yeah, coming out the hospital, some of my friends, they wrote to me while I was in the hospital. I guess they were really good friends. I remember them as that. Um, yeah, so I think I got home. I had recently got my first own room too, because my mom moved upstairs to a separate one to give me some privacy as a teenager that I never really grown up with. But I don't know, it's cool. But yeah, um, I think I was trying to go to school again. I saw, you know, I think it's been 10 days since I was in the psych ward, but I talked to some teachers, and they were nice. I guess I was just talking like nothing really didn't happen, but I knew that I was really not in a good state where I wasn't happy with what I did. I I remember my friends took me out to Boston to eat Korean barbecue, and I was having a lot of fun. These people were really cool. I see them as cool all the time, but I don't feel like I really fit in nowhere. But um, it wasn't as enjoyable to me as I thought it would be. I enjoyed spending time. It was really cool walking around with them, but I kind of ruined my own experience, because I think while we're taking the train to Boston and stuff, I have a lot of graphic images, or I just fantasize my body being mutilated or like scattered across a highway. Like, I'm just always thinking about my like death and mortality, just because I feel like I said I'm not. I remember we went to a restaurant to eat Korean barbecue, and it was good. The food is really good. The atmosphere, the lighting was so good too. Like the food, bro. Oh my god. I'm probably never gonna have something like that again, but it was so good. But yeah. I think um the check came, and I I remember tearing up in my seat, quietly, and my friend kind of noticed, and you know, I was thinking to how cool, like how nice the food was, and how I can't have anything nice like that at home because we don't really have money to spend. I just the thought of like me not, I don't know, I guess it's kind of greedy, but I was just sad that I can't have nothing nice like that at home. I remember texting to person two, told her like how the food is really good and the plates are shiny. It was really pretty. But yeah, my friend saw me tearing up. I started crying in my seat, so he took me up and started rubbing me. Because the second came and I didn't really contribute much, so he took me out and I was just crying and covering my eyes, and I was just crying about how I'm not supposed to be alive. And I guess I brought the mood down, you know. But I don't really talk to nobody all that much more. I feel it's kind of selfish to live off other people the way that I did. The way that I messed up my relationship too. It was, yeah. um yeah, I guess this person I was in a relationship with too, you know, I felt mostly happy around her. Yeah, just her presence was enjoyable, but I guess that she had a lot of friends and she was more outgoing and social more than I was, and I was this deadbeat loser. And I remember just telling her that like the mental conditions that I've gained since, you know, COVID and the relationship and stuff like that. I told her that like it's hard for me to feel anything at all, but it's not hard for me to like love you. And you know, it seemed really promising that I thought it would last, but I guess I couldn't work it out and it probably wasn't as doable realistically. Knowing that. I don't know. It was cool though, it was my, you know, experience with love and that. But yeah, so now I'm here. I got moved to a new school because my counselor seeing that my attendance wasn't good and I was failing my AP classes as is, and my new school is ghetto as all out. The kids there are all troubled, bro. Like the school there, I feel like walking around the parts of my school, you just feel like you're about to get like trafficked just because of how dangerous our city is. Like it's not a good place to be. It's known for crime, but um, yeah, I have new school, some new acquaintances, maybe friends if they consider it, but I've kind of stopped or pressed away from talking with some old faces and people, you know, since the relationship I kind of just like lost interest in all my old friends and hobbies and interest and everything else in my life, so I kind of just sacrificed my identity, like, or I lost myself in a relationship. But yeah, I don't really talk to the people that used to be there for me back then. Maybe it's my fault. I don't know when, you know, I don't want things to go back the way they are because that would mean that change is bad, but I just hope that I can't really say that I'm happy to really be alive at the moment. Probably wouldn't do anything to act on that. But yeah, I'm probably gonna stay up because it's a school night and I just couldn't sleep, so I decided to record, but yeah. Alright.